Chapter 17: Strategic Alliances and Foreign Policy in a Custodianship Republic. The shift toward custodianship over land and strategic sectors is not only a domestic affair, it represents a radical stance in global geopolitics and economic governance. In a world dominated by multinational corporations, foreign investors, and debt driven diplomacy, asserting national sovereignty through public custodianship is both revolutionary and risky. This chapter outlines how a custodianship republic can build strategic alliances, resist isolation, and project a new vision of international solidarity. 1. From dependence to self determination. Post colonial African states have often been trapped in cycles of economic dependency, reliant on aid, loans, and exploitative trade. Strategic shift. End dependence on foreign capital to develop strategic sectors. Use domestically generated wealth from minerals, land, energy to invest in people. Reject the logic of investment attraction that trades sovereignty for capital. Assert the right to control natural resources and define development on our own terms. 2. A foreign policy of non aligned radicalism. The custodianship republic must follow a foreign policy that is non aligned, pan African, and grassroots driven. Core pillars. Defend the principle that people's needs come before global markets. Do not align uncritically with Western or Eastern power blocs. Instead, build solidarity with movements and states advancing justice, land reform, and economic democracy. Elevate citizen diplomacy. Give organized people, farmers, youth, women, unions, indigenous groups, a seat at the foreign policy table. Adopt a policy of active neutrality in global conflicts, focusing instead on peace building, trade justice, and ecological cooperation. 3. Redefining trade. Free trade has mostly benefited large corporations, not people, and we must now replace it with equitable, mutually beneficial trade systems. Action points. Prioritize intra African trade, especially in food, medicine, tech, and infrastructure tools. Renegotiate or exit from trade deals, for example, WTO clauses, AGOA, that undermine state custodianship. Propose a pan African trade accord based on mutual aid, public ownership, and food/resource sovereignty. Promote barter systems and local currency trade with neighbors to bypass dollar dependency. 4. Rejecting neo-colonial financial institutions. The IMF, World Bank, and similar institutions have long pushed austerity and privatization in exchange for loans, policies that devastate the poor. Immediate measures. Declare no new IMF or World Bank structural adjustment agreements. Audit and publicly disclose all foreign debt. Refuse to pay illegitimate colonial or odious debts. Join or help create a Global South People's Bank, focused on sustainability, not profit. Explore alternative financing. Diaspora bonds, public development funds, and sovereign wealth funds from natural resources. 5. Pan Africanism as a strategic priority. Africa remains rich in resources but poor in unity. The custodianship republic must lead efforts toward continental integration. Strategic directions. Host an annual Pan African Custodianship Summit, bringing together governments, movements, and scholars. Support African countries working to nationalize or recustodian their strategic sectors. Invest in regional public goods, railways, energy grids, food reserves, and technology hubs owned collectively. Push for a Pan African parliament with real decision making power on economic justice and environmental protection. 6. International Solidarity Networks. We are not alone. Across the world, communities and movements are rising against exploitation, inequality, and ecological destruction. Global alliances to pursue. Join forces with landless workers' movements, for example, Brazil's MST, indigenous sovereignty campaigns, North America, and ecological movements, Europe, Asia. Collaborate with Global South scholars, lawyers, and activists to build legal and intellectual backing for custodianship. Encourage solidarity boycotts, information campaigns, and international legal challenges to any attempt to sanction or isolate the Republic. 7. A new vision of democracy. A new vision of diplomacy. Diplomacy is not just for presidents and ministers. It must include communities, workers, and everyday citizens. Innovations. Create people's embassies in key global cities, spaces to promote cultural understanding, cooperative businesses, and political education. Train a new generation of custodianship diplomats grounded in Pan African ethics and people first economics. Use diplomacy to promote ethical trade, debt justice, environmental treaties, and digital sovereignty. Conclusion of Chapter 17. The custodianship republic stands not against the world, but with those building a new world, one where land is sacred, people come before profit, and sovereignty is rooted in justice. Through solidarity, strategy, and a fearless foreign policy, we declare another world is not only possible, it is necessary. In addition, we are ready to lead the way.